Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. I'm afraid this battle started already, so we're coming into it with hossballs in his bishop, and he's on the north spawn of Westfield. Okay, so 3 marks of excellence on the 25-pounder barrel. It's actually a 4.5-inch barrel because, of course, Wargaming in their how should we say, in their intelligence, they decided to put a different howitzer on the vehicle. But anyway, we'll forgive them because it does actually have quite a nice punch with the 4.5-inch. Anyway, it's the Bishop, the Tier 5 British SPG, rounds out, and he gets a hit with his first shot on the OI. Now, it's a Tier 6 game with Tier 4 tanks in it, so he's middle tier in this one. Lining up the shots. Let's see, he was almost certain that guy was going to go forward, but he didn't. Yes, the OI looks a much better prospect at the moment for doing serious damage because he's so slow and so big, it's almost impossible to miss him. There you go, it's another hit, even though it's 26 hit points. Now, the vehicle is the Ordnance quick-firing 25-pounder on Carrier Valentine 25-pounder Mark 1. That's the actual full name for this vehicle. But of course, the crews called it the Bishop, and of course it had the clerical name. And he's got his first kill, an M10 RBFM. It actually got the nickname the Bishop because of the mitre superstructure. It was kind of like a pulpit in which you would actually make your sermons from in the church. He's doing it again. He pulls back a long way after shooting and just watches it from a distance. Keep going. He must be getting a bit tired of it by now. He knows that if he pulls forward, he's going to get hit, and he is slowly running out of hit points. And that's the last shot, because yes, he has gone down, and that's the second kill for hossballs. Now, this battle was actually one he played in August of last year. hossballs has just sent it in to me. I know it's a bit late, but he sent 2 in, so at least there's that saving grace. Oh, well, that VK just got tracked, which means he's used his his repair kit, and he won't be able to untrack himself if he gets hit another time until the cooldown's over. So we just need to track him once, and that should be enough. Yep, that tracked. Or did it? No, it didn't track him, but he did take a hell of a wallop, and he's now down to a 1-shot. We fired snap there. Unfortunately, that didn't work. Panzer von Fear's going up, and he's going to take this guy out. Rounds out. Oh, we got him instead. So that's hossballs' 3rd kill. Yes, we're still 1 down, but we seem to be doing rather well. Sav M43, the Swedish tank destroyer. In fact, actually, it was known as the Swedish tank assault gun, not a tank destroyer as such. And was pretty efficient. It's a big, beefy 105mm gun if you get the top one. It does look rather strong, but it is rather tall, so it's easier to hit. Well, our team seems to be flooding forward, and the Achilles is the last member of the enemy team who was up in that area. Now we've got to devote ourselves to the valley. And, oh, a Ram 2 suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and a Wizzy 131 GFT. And we've been spotted. And we take a big round for 252. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. And we've been hitting the track, so we're very lucky there. But the return fire actually was very accurate. And that smacked the Wizzy and made him pull back down again. And now he's taking rounds from a 14 TP who's behind him. Now, he hasn't got that much in the way of hit points left, so he needs to get to cover as quickly as he can, ideally to find those bushes. The Wizzy's dropped down into the valley, but he's crawling back up. He doesn't have much in the way of hit points as well, which means we can possibly take him out with 1 round. In the meantime, we're getting into the cover area. Yep, so we should be safe in here. And we might be able to get shots on that other 14 TP who's over on the other side. Now we can't see the Wizzy 131. It looks like our T-52 is being forced to pull back. Okay, go for the 14 TP down here. Oh, he's upside down! Oh my gum! Well, that should be an easy kill if we can get it. Oh, look at this, isn't it? It's such a shame because this was before they had the change. And it looks like our M10 RBFM went in for a ram kill. That's before that they flipped the tanks over. Of course, then you've got the Mercy flip, where you could flip right side up after 30 seconds. But back then, it was actually fatal for you if you stayed upside down for too long. Okay, the Wizzy 131 is still there. And I think our T-52 is still taking rounds from enemy tanks across the valley. Now, can we get a shot on this guy? It's a difficult shot. Really difficult. Unfortunately, we lose the T-52. Rounds out. Oh! That's a good kill. 4 kills now for hossballs. There's only 2 enemy left. He can get both of them. He will end up getting a top gun. Now, we think that one of them is behind us. So that's the guy who's slightly to the left of where we are now. But our teammates didn't see him. The Hellcat didn't see him. Okay, they've spotted the Type 64 across the valley, and we're going in the wrong direction to get him. We need to move further, closer to the cap. I'm wondering if he thinks that that 14 TP is coming after him. Well, we've lost sight of the Type 64 again. And I'm afraid that our Hellcat and the other guys might get picked off if they keep moving around in the valley floor, because the enemy lights will see them from above and should be able to nail them one by one. There's only those 2 lights left on the enemy team. And remember, there's the Type. Remember, light tanks do have camo quality on the move as well as when they're stationary, which means they are able to spot our guys when they're moving or not, and not be spotted themselves if they're outside view range. Still can't see that 14 TP, but there's that Type, and we have got a clean shot. It's between the Hellcat and the Nashorn, and the Hellcat's very low on hit points. In fact, he gets taken out by the Type 64, and this is what I was fearing, because now we're in a situation where our only other teammate is the Nashorn. Now, he may have the hull of a Hummel, but he's only got an 88mm gun if he's got the top gun, and he's got a slow fire rate. We fire 1 round in at the Type. It sort of like lets him know that there is an Arty in play. But I think he is actually playing very smart here, the Type. Ooh, that damaged the tracks. That gave him a kind of warning. Now. Oh, he's coming back. Nope, didn't get it that time round. And unfortunately, we've lost the Nashorn. So now it's hossballs versus 2 enemy light tanks. I think my money would be on hossballs, actually. But you never know. So we'll have to see how he's going to deal with this and win the game. That 14 TP, I still think he's over that side of the battlefield. And I think that's the reason why hossballs has actually aimed himself in that general direction. The Type knows where we're generally located. He would have seen the shells originating out of this area. Of course, he might be overconfident in a Type 64, because 1 round from our howitzer should be enough to go straight through him. There's the Type, trying to sneak up behind us. He knows he's been seen, but he might get overconfident, try to drive towards us. Oh, what a shot! Gets him in the rear as he pulls back, and there's the 14 TP. Now we're loaded. He might get overconfident, try to drive to us. Well, we got 175 and then we've ducked into cover. He probably doesn't realize that we've got a very fast reload, but once we've got into cover, we've loaded, and he is now in a lot of trouble because a howitzer can do huge damage at close range. If the enemy target just pokes his head around the corner, we'll knock it off for him. And that's 146 hit points. It tracked him. He's down to 6 now. He's a one-shot for us. We can win this game. I told you my money would be safe on hossballs. Let's see him do it. Remember, this is for a top gun and to win the game. Here we go. Oh! How did he miss? Not normal for hossballs to do that, but he managed to pull back into cover. So they've got minimal hit points. Only 61 for hossballs, because he can win the game with just one shot. Unfortunately, this vehicle does not have a great traverse, and that little truck is getting in the way, but we might be able to get him. Yes! He gets the win. Fantastic game by hossballs. Well worthy of 3 marks. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another ace tanker game for hossballs in the Bishop. He managed to get a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. He got a Starks medal because he took down 2 enemy tanks at least, managed to receive 2 hits from the enemy, blocked or received damage equivalent to 2/3 of his hit points, and he survived the battle. And that's a hard medal to get. I've tried to get them sometimes and failed simply because I wasn't hit enough times by the enemy, but I did suffer the loss of most of my hit points during the battle. The second medal he picked up was a Top Gun, but getting at least 6 kills. He did get the 14 TP was his last kill to get the Top Gun. And his winning from the battle, 5,924. It was a safe bet putting your money on hossballs to win this one because, yes, even if it's 2 enemy light tanks, he still can outsmart them. And, yes, he's got the experience to win the game. In fact, it was a big mistake by that Type 64 to try and outflank him. It might have been easier for him to just drive straight towards hossballs and start blasting away with that 76mm gun because, of course, he would have done enough damage in just a few shots and that would have been it. It would have been all over. But the Type is vulnerable because, of course, it does have thin armor. But if the 14 TP had been there as well, then I don't think it would have been a tight thing because they would have been able to overwhelm hossballs with shots. But as it is, they tried to outplay him and they failed. And a nice win. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he got the highest damage in the game, but of course, he didn't get the high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. 1,669 went to hossballs. Second highest damage was the Wizzy 131G on the enemy team, who got 1,583. And of course, that was a very difficult shot to get that one over the edge and into the enemy tank. And he also, the third highest damage, that went to the Achilles on the enemy team, who got a Confederate on 1,498. When it came to kills, hossballs got that one. He got 6 kills. The next highest being the Type 64, getting 5. And 3 kills went to the M10 RBFM on his own team. And when it came to base XP, he's got that one too. 860 went to hossballs. 860 also went to the Panzer von Vier. But, of course, he didn't survive the game. And the third highest, well, that went to the M10 RBFM, who got 774. He fired 27 rounds, got 15 direct hits and 2 penetrating shots and 16 splash. Damage of 1,669, of which 862 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see half his damage was done at close range. 4 hits received from the enemy. 3 of those were penetrations, 1 non-penetration. And 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 125 hit points of damage assistance. On a free-to-play account, he made a profit of 13,265 credits from that game. And he also picked up 1,720 experience points out of it as well. The 2 penetrating shots that he managed to get in this game, The Type 64, I would have thought, yes, right up his jacksie. That was rather an uncomfortable way to receive a 4.5-inch shell. But yes, just like in the previous battle you may have seen just recently, if you hit an enemy in the rear, they tend to go down fairly quickly. The other one he actually got the penetrating shot on was not the 14 TP, it was actually the M10 RBFM. And if you remember, that was one of the first kills he actually managed to get. And he landed the shell right on top of the guy. It came down almost vertically, and there was no way that M10 was going to survive that one. So great game there by hossballs. Do stick around because we're going to have another one. We're not going to do 2 replays, 1 video. We'll do 2 videos for 2 replays. But do stick around, yes, because he's at it again with another game. This one took place in August, and the next one is a more recent one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.